The schedule is fungible. I run this bitch. Not insinuating that anyone else said otherwise, but it's like, you know, when push comes to shove, all of these rules are merely suggestions to me. I've heard people I've heard people, Toto, who have really intently backed ODST, so I'm curious to see what's what with that. Because, like, obviously I've got a very small sample size with 1 and 2, but man, oh man, I have thoroughly enjoyed, like, 1, I could see how it was mind-blowing at the time. Oh, okay, thank you for giving that back. I can see how 1 was mind-blowing at the time. Obviously, it's showing a little age, and man, oh man, was there a lot of copy pasta. Man, oh man, was there a lot of copy pasta on that level design. And a lot of, like, backtracking. But all that being said, I don't regret playing it. I had a really good time playing it. The jump to quality on Halo 2, I understand that I'm playing... I want to clear this out. I understand that I'm playing the remastered edition, and that it's not the same as what came out by a damn sight. But still, you know, the jump in quality from narrative building and from world building and lore and story building, and, you know, hiring David Keith, you know, the introduction of being able to play as the Arbiter, I'm much more engrossed. It's not that I didn't look forward to it before, but I was like, okay, well, I'll knock out Halo 1. It's not even a very long game. And people will be like, yeah, he played Halo. With Halo 2, I'm just like, I'm looking forward to loading the game up later because I want to know what happens next. And even at the end of a 9-hour shift yesterday, I was like, well, I don't want to stop, but my body's exhausted. 2 is probably my favorite, taking time into account. ODST has Nathan Fillion in it if you're not a Spartan, so just like Nathan Fillion by itself makes it a winner. Haggis! Good morning. What's tough is 2 is where the remaster's in. Halo 3 is a big snap back to reality where all these games are just old games. That's a bummer. I don't think it's the end of the world, but that is disappointing. That said, yeah, if oh, get off me. Epstein's no. If the story's good, then I'll get over that real fast though. I'll get over that real fast. I definitely think this is worth it. Ooh, Cambion Conception or Tarot Cloth. I feel like it's Tarot Cloth. But man, Cambion Conception on floor 1 sure does bring a lot to the table. Not Cambion Conception, Immaculate Conception. You're right, you're right. Ha, too forgetful. Justin's absolutely coming over tomorrow for Thanksgiving. But the bit is just way too funny not to do it. Yeah, I feel like Tarot Cloth is almost always an instant take. I feel like, oh my god. I feel like Tarot Cloth is almost always an instant take, and we don't get an Immaculate Conception this early on very often. So I'm kind of curious to see what fruit it bears when it's center stage from the very get-go. Yeah, no, Justin's still absolutely coming over to hang out on Thanksgiving. He told me about that bit. He's like, Taffy, I got this bit I want to do. I want to do a sad... What the fuck? Not a single secret room. Like, every single room I must have tried must have... Like, I think the regular secret room is there, which is weird. And the second secret room must have been down by the shop. How unlucky. He goes, dude, I got this bit, but is it weird if I do it after spending like 5 hours at your house? And I was like, I don't know, man, that bit's too good. I'll try to make people believe that I threw you out. Like, half-heartedly, I'll try to make people believe I threw you out. I was like, but either way, I feel like you're obliged to do this. This is very funny. So, Justin is still very much coming over tomorrow. But he's also doing a very funny bit when he gets home. It's gonna be... I don't want to give too much of it away. I don't want to give too much of it away, but... Tiny single-serving whole portions of food.
Go.
Neat. David the Guide, what's going on? Welcome. Reach is good because it's been spoken about all the way through Halo 2, but you're in the dark until after Halo 3 to get to Reach. You're like, oh, because Reach is the prequel. People told me I should play it. Oh my god. People told me I should play it in release order, so we're playing it in release order instead of playing it in chronological order. Yeah, like I am incredibly appreciative that Halo has an engrossing storyline. Nice. All the pills are terrible. So I was thinking about the single sad man depression Thanksgiving. I was like, oh no, Justin and Taffy had a fight, and now I have to beat up an old fat man. Nah. Nah. I think the closest that Justin and I have ever come to being legitimately mad at each other was during Sliced. And that was manufactured drama. We were very frustrated with each other for sure, but, you know, how mad can you get over how mad can you truly get over a cooking competition that doesn't even have like a trophy at the end? Like I know for sure Wednesday that he was legitimately pissed at me for basically having like Amethyst gave me 10 grand to push my will on the entirety of the field of competition for that, and I still fucked it up, which is really the heartbreaking part of it. But yeah, between getting that kid's cook set and then getting a massive ladle to have to try to fit into it, and the fact that he got a dessert out and I didn't, with absolutely nothing working against me. I know he wanted to punch me a couple times during that, and I know that I was like despondent with irritation by the time my third round was done for sure. But that's it. That's the closest we've ever come to being like even irritated with each other. Even during the subathon, I'd like to believe, like, I don't know, 4 days in when your mind's foggy with fatigue, maybe at some point he was just like, God damn, I gotta get this fucking guy out of my house. But he never said it, and he never made me feel it. So I'd like to believe that we were still going pretty strong. Let's do this so I can get into the secret room for a change. Yeah, I think that's, I wouldn't try to convince a dude to move to my city and live literally doors down from me.
Go.
If I wasn't convinced that it was a pretty good idea. You want to play it in release order? It's kind of like how Star Wars movies. Yeah, that makes sense. Shrimp Scampi sounds awesome. Why are we talking about Shrimp Scampi? I want Shrimp Scampi. Shrimp Scampi makes me think of the holidays. My parents, we didn't really form any holiday traditions except Mom didn't really want to cook. Until, we didn't really form any holiday traditions. Except towards the very end, the night before, Mom would just order a shitload of pizza because she didn't want to cook. And then that turned into, she still didn't want to cook. But, she did go and pick up a whole bunch of, like, it wasn't good food, but it was easy. She'd go to, like, Costco and get, like, Shrimp Scampi in a box. I want to do it like this. Hold on. I genuinely might wait for Angel Deal. Oh, you little rat bastard. I knew you were going to pin me in. I genuinely think I'm going to wait for Angel Deals. Because, getting the relic would be a pretty big... Oh, my God. Getting the relic would be a pretty big turnaround here. She'd get, like, boxed shrimp scampi, and then she'd get, like, boxed bacon-wrapped shrimp. And then she'd, I say boxed, it's like frozen food. She'd get, she'd buy shrimp cocktail from, like, the seafood section of an Albertsons. But, I mean, like, ultimately, she'd get, like, boxed crab cakes. And it wasn't tremendous food, but it was tasty. It was tasty, and there was lots of it. It would be like if she showed up, you know, with a 5-gallon bag of White Castle. Like, none of that food's good food, but it scratches an itch. If she showed up with $100 worth of Whataburger. Yeah, that's exactly it, Great Jug. Like, you're not setting the world on fire with any of these, like, boxed meals from, like, Costco. But they're still pretty fucking tasty, you know? Like, I was never sad when she brought any of that stuff in. What is going on? Where is the second secret room, chat? Make me understand. Where do you see it? Maybe up in that top room? It's gotta be. Shrimp Scampi and a Bloody Mary sound amazing right now, actually. Who woke my fat man up so early? It sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. Gonna use the glitch trinket to see if you get a better item? I don't know. It depends. Do you guys think that the Eternal Hearts count? Do you guys think the Eternal Hearts count as do you guys think the Eternal Hearts count as healing? I didn't take Tarot Cloth. I took Immaculate Conception because we just don't get that very early, very often. Yeah, sorry, Jequi. Or Jequits. That trinket, every time I use my spacebar item, it becomes a different spacebar item. No, that's the thing with the birthright for Eden is you get 3 items on pedestals, but you only get to pick up 1. Which is actually still really good.
This is the story of the newest denizen.
Mazarian, tier 1, 21 months. Mazarian, thank you so much. Appreciate the continued support. Almost 2 years. I might just take my money to the next floor. Only cool people can read this. I had to have someone send that to me in a whisper. I had to have Alex send that to me in a whisper. I couldn't read it. So tonight, man, first of all, I can't wait. I can't wait for the heating guys to come back and fix our HVAC. We're on auxiliary heat, which means our house has been in the low 60s to high 50s for the last week and a half. Like, it's like freezing outside. It is below freezing outside, and our auxiliary heat that we're paying out the ass for is struggling to keep up. It's not miserable, it's just every room is chilly. Think I can go? Yeah, it's the worst time to need a furnace. What really sucks is that they are being smacked with the with supply chain issues just like everyone else. There we go. They're being smacked with supply chain issues just like everyone else. So, unfortunately, the part that we need probably, it's been a week, and it's gonna be another week. It's gonna be like Monday before they can come back out. When I woke up this morning, some town in central Virginia was the coldest on the national map, and to find a place that was colder, the closest place that was colder than central Virginia this morning was Edmonton in Canada. That started its day at 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative Celsius. That was real bizarre to see that central Virginia was colder than everywhere except for Western Canada. Tomorrow, our high is only going to be 50 degrees. That's going to be a fun day. You guys will be pleased to know. You guys will be pleased to know that every dollar you give me is going to go directly to Dominion Energy. while I keep my house warm, waiting for this part to come in to fix my heat. I caught that one. Fuck if I know, Lurtz, if I'm being honest. There was somebody here yesterday. There's a Ryan from Canada yesterday who was saying that it was like an auxiliary electrical heat pump. That instead of being like a traditional heater, an electrical backup pump is doing, like, I'm basically burning premium gasoline instead of regular unleaded. Alexa, what's 50 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius? There you go. Thank you.
Feels like I'm walking on sunshine.
I already forgot what she said. 10. Yeah, the high tomorrow is in non-American stubborn units is 10. Oh wait, the high today is 10 or 50. And then tomorrow I think it gets up to 60, which is like 13, give or take. So tomorrow's not nearly as bad, but we're gonna have a fire all day tomorrow. Like, I'm going downstairs, and as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm putting on coffee. I'm probably gonna make some eggs and bacon for everyone, including Justin if he wants to come over for breakfast before we set up. And then I'm going out into the wood pile. I was telling Squint Fox, oh okay. I was telling Squint Fox this yesterday, and it's not a pleasant thought to have. I was saying that I really wanted a fire yesterday, but I couldn't go out and like lift lumber. And they were like, dude, you have kids, make the kids go get the firewood, like that's what chores are for. But the problem is, and I don't want to gross anybody out, but the problem is that unfortunately, dude, do I have PhD? What's going on? Or not PhD, do I have something that makes me only have pills? I thought that was supposed to have cards in it.
Health
anyway.
up.
I need this guy to go away. The wood that we have, we've been letting dry out for almost a year. So that basically all you have to do is set a match to it and it goes up very nicely. But the problem is that means that wood pile's been sitting there for a year. I'm fucking over it. Anyway, woodpile's been out there seasoning for a year, drying out. But that means that, you know, I go out there now. You know what? Fuck all you. I don't want to do this fight. I don't want to be harassed and irritated for like 9 minutes. I have the bomb. I'm gonna use the bomb and get out of jail free card. I have zero desire to try to tell this fucking story and be irritated the entire time. It's like being able to put my hand over a whining child's mouth. Just be like, Daddy's talking to his friends right now. Shut up. What you're saying, game, is not important. It's just irritating. Anyway, wood's been sitting out there for a year, seasoning, drying out, so that we can just set a match to it and it takes care of itself. But the problem is now it's got roaches in it. Apparently some roaches set up shop in it. And with the roaches apparently came one big fuck-off wolf spider. I wasn't freaked out by that. I don't know why. Normally spiders freak me out, but this thing was so big, I couldn't do anything except appreciate it. And I also knew it wasn't venomous, you know? Anything that's that big, you know? Unless it's in Australia. Dominates the food chain, not necessarily through venom, but through brute force. So it was in there eating the cockroaches. I found it underneath a stick of wood with a whole bunch of roach parts, so I wasn't mad at it. I've been trying to kill the roaches, and I've obviously been like shaking every stick and checking on every side of the stick to make sure that it's clean before I bring it inside the house. But yeah, next to this spider, there's just a bunch of roach parts. And so I shook him off into the leaves, but the problem The problem with how big this was, and the first time that I truly got kind of freaked out about how big this spider was that when I shook him off the stick, he landed in the leaves by the wood pile. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Dynamax, that's been my thing too, is that there's creepy crawlies left after that, I throw it in the fire and fire cleanses it. Yeah, the wolf spider was doing his thing and not hurting anybody, so I shook the stick, he fell in the leaves. The only time that I got freaked out was that he was so goddamn big that when I let him go, he hit the ground and it was dark, so I couldn't see where he landed because I don't have any real lights out in that part of the yard. He hit the ground, I couldn't see where he landed, but I could hear him skitter away from me. I heard him take off through the leaves and could hear him take off through the leaves for a while. You know what I mean? Like, he dipped out on me because he was obviously more scared of me than I was scared of him. But I was off put by the fact that it sounded like a squirrel in my yard. That was the first time during that entire exchange that I was like, bro, I'm glad you didn't lead with that. I'm glad you led with like, hey man, don't fuck me up, we're on the same team. And I'm like, are we? Are we? And he's like, yeah, man, look at all these roach parts. And I was like, all right, get out of here. He goes, okay, skitter. And I was like, oh man, if I could see you, I'd stomp you so hard right now. That's so fucking creepy. I can't help it. I'm going to your neighbor's yard. Wanted to bomb. That sucks. Yeah, alerts. I mean, that was the thing. I was actually kind of like, you know, I don't want to sit here and clap myself on the back for being such an altruistic human. But I will say that I was pleased with myself that for the first time in my adult life, I saw, you know, a big fuck off spider and was just like, hey buddy, thanks for helping out. And I just let him go. Yeah, when you can hear a spider in the distance, it was, I shit you not, man. It was like, it was the size of a freshly baked chocolate chip cookie. It was a big spider. Yeah, the spider was so pissed about getting evicted, he went and broke my HVAC like an asshole does. You know, like assholes do. Anywho, I have to go. Probably either like during I may let Amber know during the daytime because when I get out of here during these long days, it's nighttime when I get out of the office. There's no more daytime to be had. But when I get out of here for my first break, I may let Amber know that we need firewood brought in for tomorrow, and unless I do it literally one stick at a time, it's too heavy for me to carry right now. The nurses basically said the people who come back in with swollen balls and busted stitches are the rad rippers of the world who think they fucking know better and go, this surgery wasn't shit. And they carry in 9 or 10 armloads of firewood and they pop a stitch and end up having to go back in and get it redone. So I'm not looking to have that done. But yeah, if she and the boys are looking to do it, she's gonna need to oversee it. Probably be the one who goes out there with some intense gloves on. Make sure that every stick gets shaken off. And then hands it off to the boys. But I'm also very intent on not bringing any extra creepy crawlies into the house.
Wheel of Fortune.
Is there any way to like... Hold on. Well, that angel room is intent on staying open, isn't it? I think that's it for this floor. Unless I want to look for the secret room. You could bribe the spider to carry a bunch of wood at once. Hagrid, ask your friend if he's willing to bring in wood for me. I need wood for the fire. You act like he manually do labor. He make his dad do it while he watches vasectomy on YouTube. If Brizzy has understood it correctly, apparently this dude works in a meat packing plant, which tracks. Which absolutely tracks. Ah, Ghost Cubby. It's the medium to small size spiders that freak. Not like the teeny tiny spiders. You know what I mean? But like the medium to small size spiders are the ones that freak me out real bad. Medium to small size spiders, especially the ones that like spiders that look venomous as opposed to spiders who look like they rock something's world with brute force. Like scorpions, right? Medium to small size scorpions freak me out, and while I wouldn't be a fan of seeing a big, monstrous, fat-ass scorpion in the middle of the desert, while I wouldn't be a huge fan of seeing a fat-ass scorpion in the desert, I'd be less freaked out about a fat-ass scorpion in the desert than a mid-tier one, you know?
Paralysis.
These pills are awesome, man. No regrets. Hey, we got Relic. There's our first Immaculate Conception payout. I'm kind of toying with the idea of playing it all loosey-goosey so that I can keep getting heals. For once, intentionally taking... Well, that wasn't intentional. That one was kind of intentional. Intentionally taking damage so I can heal up and see what else comes out of Immaculate Conception.
I'm excited.
Fucking terrible pills. Every one of them. At least our rate of fire is pretty good now. Speed. Check out the Sydney Funnel web spider. Those things will charge you an attack. I'm gonna guess, based on the name and the attitude of the arachnid, that this is from Australia. Ryuda M says, and Relic can facilitate the gen. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. You and I are on the same page. You and I are on the same page. Ooh. I'm too fast. Yeah, you and I are on the same page. I may even get rid of these bone hearts right now. We're definitely playing out this sack room. I'll see, like, you know, I guess there's no sense in going around all busted if I don't have to. Rotten Tomatoes not too bad. I feel like the rating of Rotten Tomato is not very high on Platinum God, and I don't get it. I don't get why. Ooh, I'm excited. Because I feel like it's a really good item. It's fine. I do feel blessed. I don't know. I'll get rid of it if another Soul Heart drops. Mads, how's the healing going? Not too bad. Amber and I felt like things have been going well, so we did kind of neglect a step and didn't realize it until yesterday. I was getting real... Everything kind of ached and stung a little bit, and I was like, man, I don't feel good. Like, maybe it's just from sitting all day. That's fine. I was like, maybe it's just from sitting all day in an office chair, right, you know, relatively soon after a surgery. But then we kind of realized that we hadn't, I should check this while I'm here. We kind of realized that we hadn't been doing a very good job of, like, applying antibacterial ointment and all that jazz. So I kind of upped my self-care last night with some Neosporin and some calamine powder to reduce friction. And I made that kind of a part of the process, and I feel... what was it? What was it? Shit, was it Brooklyn Nine-Nine. There was, oh no, it was Community. Streets Ahead. I felt Streets Ahead. That was a Community with, was like Chevy Chase. I felt very, very good. Much different. I feel very, very much relieved today. Ryan, what's going on? Hey, Ryan, I have a quick question. Somebody earlier said, what exactly is auxiliary heat? And I was like, if Ryan was here, he'd help us out. Would you be so kind as to give us the TLDR on what my expensive heat is until Monday? Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes like a reverse charm. It's so good, and I feel like it doesn't. I feel like, you know, I feel like it doesn't get nearly the love that it should. Oh my! Look at all these items we're leaving here with. I still need to watch the rest of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and as much as I liked it, as much as I enjoyed Brooklyn Nine-Nine, holy shit, did it feel like it went on. Like when you were trying to binge it, and each season has like 28 episodes or some shit like that. It can be a little overwhelming. Like Amber and I watched like 5 seasons in like a weekend. Not in like a weekend, but like in a couple months we watched like 5 seasons and we just got fatigued. And we've tried to go back to it a couple times, but it's just a lot. There's a lot of episodes. Might need to explain it like I'm 5 for Taffy. You know, not just me, but also me, but not just me. Somebody asked me and I gave a bastardized version of what I had heard yesterday. And I was just like, you know what, if Ryan from Canada shows up, then Ryan from Canada will have a much more clinical explanation that is much more accurate. I don't think I'm gonna want to do Mango Santa, but in case I do, I guess I'll grab some key pieces. I'm gonna read that whole fucking thing out loud because I'm actually kind of curious now. I'll go ahead and get rid of this other bone heart. I don't need it, and if it gets buried, I'll be sad. See, that's I don't regret that at all. That's a fair trade. A third of $1. I'm not gonna do the other angel fight. If everything goes to plan, we'll see another angel deal before it's done. I live in Australia and heating is foreign to me. I actually read, or I saw a YouTube video where they were talking about Peppa Pig and its influence globally. I don't know why I was watching exactly that, but I was watching exactly that. They were talking about Peppa Pig and Peppa Pig's influence globally. And they were also talking about how there was an episode where Peppa went out of her way to be very kind to a spider. And that the Australian censors went, that shit's axed. You cannot show that on air in Australia. Children will die. And I was like, it makes sense. Yeah, no, you can't show that in Australia. In Australia, they're gonna go grab some monster fucking venom bag with legs and dagger teeth. Right, fight. Scott, it's the guy. Fight. I am Matthew Patel. Smile girl, good morning. Oh shit. Didn't you get my email? I skimmed it. You will pay for your insolence. Apparently the dude who played Matthew Patel was a British actor. And the casting directors said that they only wanted somebody who was an American because they didn't want, or American or Canadian because they didn't want to have to like deal with accent training. But he really wanted the job, so he just lied and said he was Canadian. And then got in there and trusted his voice training to carry him, and said that he got cast before they realized they'd cast a British actor. Ugh. Ooh. Those shot speed downs are starting to hurt a little bit. The Rapid, good morning. Are you a pirate? Yeah, are you a pirate? Pirates are in this year. Yo, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Scott Pilgrim, the video game, might be funded. And if it's not, it's awfully close. This song, the beginning of this song always makes me think. Like he's about to start rapping while writing a letter to the front. Hit me. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. There we go. Wait, is there? No, okay, there's no sack room in this floor. Well, I need shot speed like nobody's business, man. That's absolutely one to play with a friend or two. Joke's on you, I don't have any friends that play video games with me. Alright, just hold still. This should be over soon. Thank you. Get Justin. I try my best when, like, my biggest problem when funding games where you guys want co-op is I have to figure out what's in it for them. I gotta turn this music down. My biggest problem is I gotta figure out what's in it for them. You know? Like, I'm not saying that they'd never play video games with me just for fun. But the problem is like, I don't blame them for getting a little, like, eye-rolly about, like, oh, well, Taffy's chat paid him $1 million to play blank game, and they expect me to show up on my time off. Like, I'm gonna go live for 7 hours tonight, but I'll show up for 3 early hours and help Taffy, Mr. 819, make money. Well, no, I won't say nobody's ever said that. I feel like Brizzy has absolutely said that, and if he hasn't said it, he's certainly thought it, or he should have, if he's being a good businessman. It's so funny. I hosted Brizzy the other day, and I left him up while I went downstairs and, like, made dinner or got dinner or something. And I came back up, I think, to start a nighttime stream, and it cracked me up that, I came back in the like, last, ooh, 2/3 guppy. You know what? We're gonna be getting a whole lot of red hearts on this run, whether we want them or not, and I just kind of want to always have a little bit of a soul heart buffer. So let's remove some of these red hearts from the equation. I came back to find that the last moments of his stream were about me, and he was trying to be nice, but he was also basically trying to say that I was a money-hungry shithead, and that I just, like, convinced all you guys to give me a bunch of cash. But he was also saying, man, wouldn't it be nice to make Taffy money? And so there was this, like, volley back and forth. There's this volley back and forth between, like, my audience members trying to explain how it is that I price things and how it is that we structure stuff so that nobody ever feels jaded or burned about our setup here. And he was genuinely like vetting my spreadsheet. And people were telling him that he should hire me to help him make money on Twitch. Oh, this is after a Brizzy host the other day. He was trying very carefully to, like, not word it so that he would, like, he was basically trying very, and I know that he didn't mean this in a negative way, But Brizzy is New Jersey through and through, and so he says what's on his mind. And what was on his mind was, that greedy shithead gets so much, like, has no problem just asking people for money left, right, and sideways, and so he makes money. And that makes me feel gross, so I don't want to do it, but damn, I want Taffy's money. And I was like, yeah, well, don't hate the player, hate the game. No, Nailfile, none of this is, like, accusatory, right? This is, like, I'm grateful that I have friends that, like, Breeze like that. Breeze like that, Brizzy's like that, Noah's not like that. Noah's a lawyer. So Noah, sometimes I gotta call him out and be like, is that bullshit or is that not bullshit? But like Justin's like that, but he's very nice. Brizzy's like that. Brizzy and Bree are cut from the same cloth. They're both blunt instruments when it comes to like letting you know their opinion, but it's never like I'm gonna tamp my opinion down your throat. It's just like you never have to worry or wonder what they think, because they'll fucking tell you. And I gotta say, like, I love that. I adore that. That's so much easier than trying to guess what's going on in people's heads, you know? I'll never be upset about that. It's not malicious. Yeah, good friends take the piss. Exactly. Ice, good morning. I'm sorry. I was trying to get that whole thought out of my head without having any of it come out awkwardly phrased. It was Brizzy shitting on me for being so, in his mind, so money hungry. But then also Brizzy going like, man, I wish I could find better ways to make money on stream. He doesn't want to charge people for it. He just wants to do this for free. And I get that. Like, if Brizzy would do this shit for free, if he could get a contract, if he could get a Twitch contract and just have the money guaranteed for him for a year or two, he would never ask anybody for another dollar or bit. And he would happily take $50,000 or $70,000 a year of Twitch's money and be like, y'all never have to give me another sub or bit again if you don't want to. Because he just he so intensely loves what he does. It's admirable. I love that he's like that. But yeah, he lacks the sellout gene that I have. He's gotten better about it. I will say that. God, these are just not great items ever since we started so strong. He's gotten better about, like, you know, when he takes sponsorship money, he doesn't shit on the game anymore. It's nice with friends like that because you don't have to worry about people. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't remember much about high school. What I do remember is the anxiety I would feel when you would... we're all pretty old, and some of you are pretty young, but most of us are pretty old, but I guarantee you can still remember this. The anxiety that came with, hey, did you hear so-and-so's pretty upset with you? I still have the fucking bottom drop out of me when I hear that sentence. And the worst part is that it's normally somebody that you haven't thought about in like a month. But you have somebody who's like, oh, this person who's telling me this. Oh, whatever. Hurt me, daddy. You have, like, normally the person who's telling you that kind of shit is like some sort of weird go-between where they're like half friends with both of you, but they're probably just like stirring the pot because they kind of want to see some shit blow up. And you're like, damn, Samantha? I haven't talked to Samantha since like the end of summer break. Why would Samantha be mad at you? I don't know. I'm just the messenger. I'm just saying. Last time I talked to Samantha at lunch, she seemed pretty pissed with you. And then you realize you're not going to see Samantha until the end of the day that day in the parking lot if you feel compelled enough to go track her down and sort this shit out. So now you got like 4 periods of school where you're just like, oh man, I got to go through lunch. She's on early lunch and I'm on afternoon lunch, so I'm probably not going to see her. And then you got to go through and do the mental forensic audit of like, oh, I wonder what I did. Not with my friends, man. With my friends, it's just like, hey, did you hear? Bree thinks you're a dick for reasons 1, 2, and 3. And I'm like, oh, well, 1 and 3 are accurate. I should go apologize for that. 2's not accurate, and I will go defend myself. Crisis Trucks, what's going on? This is where I am in chat. I've left it all. This is where I've left off. Crisis Trucks, good morning. Taffy's a shill, but he never tries to hide it. That's true. That is the way I'm able to get away with it, is that I 100% keep you in the know every step of the way. I will, ooh, shit. I will never, I will never intentionally deceive you. I gave myself the leniency there just in case. Just in case. Was it Valkyrie who had the fucking makeup debacle recently? Give myself that leniency just in case. I will never intentionally deceive you. Even good people make big fuck off mistakes sometimes. I'm gonna give myself that leeway. All good, buddy. You're at work. Same as when I have to peel off for conference calls and shit since I'm at work. I think Brizzy vastly undervalues himself and needs to change more or charge more for his time. I would. I mean, I don't know. His audience is different, but you know, I feel like, and I feel like this has changed over time, but I feel like his audience, I don't want to say used to have a lot of rad rippers in it. I talk to Justin about this sometimes too. Is like, I had to go through a culling process. I want that. I don't know what it is, but I want it. I regret it. I had to very aggressively at one point go through and just carve out all the people that I didn't like in my channel that made turning this into a job. No. But as long as you're here, I don't think Justin minds me saying that, like, over the course of time, I feel like every streamer, all three of us, me, Brizzy, and Justin included, have had to, like, grapple with, there are people who are almost actively working against your growth. There are people, like, for me it was, I had a mod. I had straight up had a mod. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because there are newer people around now. I straight up had a mod that when I said, like, 4 years ago, I said, I want to turn this into a job, and if I'm going to turn it into a job, some things have got to change. We have to be less corrosive and, like, less abrasive in how we deal with people here. We have to start being more, like, warm and welcoming. Yeah, I mean, I suppose. That's probably much better than whatever I'm gonna get it from Immaculate Conception. I just have to get some familiars now. Like, maybe I can get, like, Rainbow Baby or something in one of these rooms. But yeah, I was like, things have to change. Like, things have to change. We have to be less Call of Duty and more, more, like, model Twitch community. And I had a mod come to me and straight up say, I don't want you to grow, the channel's just fine the way it is. Which he meant he liked it at like 30 viewers, because that meant that he liked the size that it was because he could have conversations with everybody and not have to worry about doing any like mod work. And essentially told me that. What are these? No. Oh, wait, hold on.
Queen of Hearts.
Keys. But yeah, he basically said, I'd rather he without so many words said, I'd rather you don't make this into a career so that I can keep the channel the way I like it. That's pretty good. And I know that, like, you know, without getting too into other people's business, I know that, you know, both those guys have had to come into, like, have had to grapple with that at some point in time or another. And I don't feel like, I feel like once upon a time Brizzy had more of those kinds of people there, but I don't think they're really there anymore, and I think he underestimates, and Justin, I feel like you do this sometimes too, but not as much anymore, especially like the success of the subathons. I feel like both of you guys can sometimes underestimate how much your community is willing to have your back and how much they value you as a creator. But I really feel like Brizzy, I feel like I'm rubbing off on Justin, but I feel like Brizzy really undervalues what he's able to, he gives away the cow and the milk for free most of the time because he just wants people to be happy, which is admirable, but it's, you know, it's not the best way to run a business. I picked up a book called The Obscure, Jesus, Vlad. Obscure Sorrows that came up with new words for feelings like that. We now have a word for that feeling. Lysomania, the irrational fear that someone you know is angry at you, that as soon as you wander into a room, you'll be faced with a barrage of questions that gradually escalates into a frenzy of outrage for reasons you don't understand. Yeah, that feeling sucks. Taffy went through a culling process that wasn't the culling 2. What's Rad Ripper? A guy who's been banned from a whole bunch of channels in my circle because he's like a very pushy, narrow-minded asshole. I had a long talk with chat last night about ideas of trying to monetize better without sacrificing the quality of the content. I think the answer is still that you just you can't just do that. It has to happen to you. Yeah, no, I'll agree with the fact that like I have seen some kind of like some misfire attempts. Not just like not you guys, but I've seen people try to do stuff like this before where it didn't occur organically. Oh, look at that. Now we got the little angel baby. And I will say that like this system that we have here occurred organically over the course of years, and all literally started because of a meme. It all started because JJ Madison and Minecraft. It all started because of JJ Madison and Acid Trip and the Minecraft meme. Where I was like, I'm just gonna play Isaac forever. And JJ Madison said, well, I wanna watch you play Minecraft, the game you hate. And I, off the cuff, went, yeah, give me a shitload of money and I'll play your stupid game. And then he gave me a shitload of money. And then I played his stupid game. And then Acid Trip came in and gave me a shitload of money. And I played his stupid game. And then a couple days later, somebody came in and said, have you ever played God of War? And I went, no one's gonna watch me play that. And they said, what if I do the Minecraft thing? And I went, what do you mean, what if I do the Minecraft? What if you do the Minecraft thing? It was like, well, you didn't want to play Minecraft. But then JJ Madison gave you a shitload of money, so you did it anyway. Can I buy God of War? And I was like, I guess. But it's gonna cost like a bunch of money because I'm not gonna make any money while I stream it. And they went, that's fine.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
And that straight up has just been like the last 3 years of my life. Has just been me going, like people going, you ever play blank? And I go, nope. And they go, here's $300. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm playing blank. No, it was pertinent. Vlad, that was pertinent and actually very rewarding to read. Every time I do some sort of goal or bar, I sheepishly remove it when it doesn't move. I'm trying to remember the last chat. What's the last thing that I tried to make? Well, okay. The last thing that I tried to make happen that was a total flop was Cyberpunk Day 1. I just took that one on the chin, but I mean, like, overwhelmingly too, the funny thing with my goals is that my goals almost never have anything to do with what I want to do, which is weird. I have forsaken, with the exception of Isaac, I have forsaken programming. I am not the head of programming on my own channel. I get super excited. Like, I will say Brizzy and Justin have the freedom to literally play games they want at the time they want to play them. I think I've been partnered for almost 7 years. And I think Elden Ring, when it drops, will be the first time in almost a decade that I've been granted permission by chat to play a game the day it comes out. I'm not gonna make any. An anonymous gifter gifts a tier 1 sub to Ban Toto. I was gonna read that all weird. like Dances with Wolves. Bontanto. Like I don't know why in my head that was like yeah, I pictured Graham Greene trying to explain Buffalo to me. Instead, it's Ban Toto because capitals aren't in that name. Take that, Toto. Thank you, Anonymous. I'm not gonna make any money while I stream that game. That's okay, I'll pay up front. That is the damnedest thing to me. The damnedest thing to me that worked. Nobody was more surprised than me, and the more I leaned into it, the more people bought into the system. But I did it gradually. It was really degrees over years that we just sort of shifted that way. Gotta love it when people break out the money gun full of singles. Exactly. I am their little dancer. Anytime I do a goal, it's because a handful of people encouraged it, and then I remember only a handful of people wanted it. I've definitely had, I think the first time it ever misfired for me, Justin, was Detroit Become Human. I don't remember who it was, but somebody was super fired up about watching me play Detroit Become Human. And it was the first time I'd ever had a schism on the scheduling of it. Because it was also the first game where I had people say, I will pay money to take money off that goal. Like JJ Madison would go, here's $100 to not see Detroit Become Human. That was the first one that ever failed because only a couple people wanted it and actually spent a significant sum of money, and then it died on the vine. Chad is truly a benevolent god for allowing Taffy to play Elden Ring on launch. Genuinely, if I crank enough Isaac content and Elden Ring launches, I fucking may only play Elden Ring. I may drop Isaac for like a month. The free market provides. I'm not trying to drum up a pity party, but I think every goal I put up failed this year. Subathons are my lifeblood, though. I mean, you do have to customize it. Like, I can't, like, only you know your audience the way you know your audience. And so you gotta customize it. So far, like, I feel a little bit, like, sad about the fact that I do feel like the really creative stuff that you've done so far has been fucking dynamite. Not only has it been fun to watch, but people I feel like have financially rewarded you for it. That said, it does mean that you got to keep coming up with ideas like, you know, the Pokemon card unpacking, and the one-man Thanksgiving. Oh God, dude, Justin, you're talking to the king of anonymity on Twitch. I could I could retire a millionaire from Twitch. I could retire a millionaire from Twitch, and most people will not know who I am when it's done. I can take a shit on Emmett. I can take a shit on on Emmett. Emmett's the first name of that guy, right? The CEO of Twitch. I can take a shit on Emmett's desk, and then explain that I was Ryan Capps, aka Twitch partner McLaffy Taffy, and I'd still be arrested as like random homeless Uber driver shits on CEO's desk. And what's funny is if you think about it, there we go. If you think about it a little bit and scale it out, what have I done? I just wanted to see what I would get. Neither one of those guys meant shit difference to me, and I didn't get anything really good out of it. Oh, I should have taken the, I probably should have taken the, key piece, but I'll just go ahead and get it now. Anyway, and what's funny too is we were kind of talking about that a little bit. It scales, but even people that we think of as synonymous with Twitch suffer from that too, because we were talking about the fact that, like, NL, I mean, raise your hand in chat if you don't know who Northern Lion is. I'd say we'd be hard pressed to come up with more than a half dozen in here. But if you go outside the indie game and Isaac circle, he actually enjoys a fair bit of anonymity among the people who would know XQC, who would know Hassan, you know, who would know Pokimane, who would know Shroud, who would know Tim, who would know Ninja. So it's like, you know, you unless your overarching plan involves sincerely trying to figure out how to become the next person on signs at TwitchCon, I really feel like all you can do is focus on the stuff, and this is where I live. Like, I'm always genuinely interested and trying to figure out how to make that next step from, you know, Twitch middle class to Twitch upper middle class. But yeah, unless your stated goal, and I don't feel like your stated goal is this, but unless your stated goal is, I'm gonna figure out how to become the next person on a billboard in Times Square with Twitch, All you can really do is try to figure out ways that you can make your existing community happy. And then from there, like a fucking Katamari, it will grab more like-minded individuals. And it'll leave behind the ones that you're just like, man, I wish I'd just get like a big raid from a well-known streamer, and then everyone would just be like, yeah, you're famous too now, and elevate you. But like, you know, I make a lot of money on this platform, and fucking nobody knows who I am. I've seen a lot of people play that. Oh yeah, that guy's games. Yeah, I wasn't excited about playing it, and that we're talking about the Detroit Become Human. What's his nuts? David Cage games. Yeah, I have zero desire to play a David Cage game. It was actually the first game that I ever saw lose its bidding war within chat, and I was thrilled that it happened. I do well with streamers because I don't watch streams or YouTube, so when I meet them... Yeah, exactly. I'm in the exact same boat. There's only been once or twice that Noah's, like, shoved me in... There's only been once or twice that Noah's shoved me into groups with, like, streamers much bigger than me. Where I've not, like... I got put into a match with Milton, Ashley Roboto, and, basically I do work with Marcel. And it's not that I didn't enjoy myself, I thoroughly enjoyed myself, but I was really only there because Noah has a friend who also streams. And he wanted to put this friend up with these, like, global brands to see if it would help me out. Thank you, Noah, I appreciate that, but it wasn't organic. So I just spent a lot of time trying to figure out why I was playing with these, you know, household names. Otherwise, like, Bree brought me in to play with Eli and with Broman, and that happened organically, and I couldn't have been more thrilled. I had a great time. And I feel like I get put into a lot of situations where, like, Justin will bring me into games, with the exception of playing that one round of Rivals with NL and Kate, where I genuinely was shaking when the game started. When NL came into chat came into Discord for the first time, I got, like, clammy. Other than that, like, yeah, I get stuck into situations where it's like, this guy is really big right now, and I'm like, alright. I watch my friends play games, and that's about it, so I have no idea who this person is, but they sound very cool. Catamario, you pleb. Catamario. I still to this day don't know how Ninja got that big. Well, he grinded for the better part of a decade. Like, you may like the image that he's crafted, that Tyler's crafted, or you may dislike the image that Tyler's crafted. But there's no denying the fact that he worked his ass off and grinded for years. You know, he was not much bigger than some of mine and Justin's friends at this point. For years. And hustled and... like, logged long hours, and then managed to gain enough notoriety with Fortnite that he hooked Drake for a play session, and that genuinely put him on a global map overnight. Like, that's it. That's the whole thing. He worked for the better part of a decade to become an overnight success. Just spent the entire morning getting bitched at for doing what I was supposed to, then being tied under the fucking bus by my manager. I am shaking with fury. You guys are not doing a good job of selling me on going back into the corporate or retail world. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but you do not make it sound very fun at all. Taffy, just got here, so I'll put my 2 cents in. Your Twitch situation seems kind of ideal to me because you still get to make a good amount, but you also manage to communicate with chat fairly easy. Yeah, no, I've said on a number of occasions listen, I understand that I can come across as money hungry. It's because I like money and am hungry for it. No, don't die. I needed him to die second. God damn it. I wanted Guppy. I was willing to take left hand. Whatever. We're still gonna win. It's just Guppy would have made this a lot better. I understand that I come off sometimes as being like willing to sell my soul to Satan for a couple bucks. But all that being said, like I've said on any number of occasions, if this stream ever got to a place where it was genuinely getting higher than about 1,000 concurrents, I'd start to get real panicky because I think I've had everywhere from, 35 viewers to 14,000 viewers in here at a time, depending on what's going on. And I think 1,000 viewers is about as big as chat can get without me losing control over it. I think that's ideal. You know, it's great IRL. I think you're right, Cloud Swallowing Man. That's why I'm friends with like 10 people. So many creators seem like they're secretly jerks in real life. I honestly, like, I've been so lucky with the people that I've met that I actively feel like I'm dodging meeting more creators because I feel like I'd be pissed off if I was disappointed by a bunch of them. I'm terrified that I've met all the good ones. I'm terrified that I've already met all the good ones, so I haven't been working hard to meet many more because I'm worried that, like, if I were to get to know a whole bunch of them better, I would just be supremely disappointed. I know I come across as money hungry, but it's just because I am. The McLaffy Taffy and Alpha Thorn Omega story. Not to like weirdly dissect my own friendship with people, but like I think I hit it off with genuine streamers on this platform because they know I'm not one of the bad ones. Anyone who knows me knows I'd turn down streaming with any of the mega names if I didn't like them, which is most of them. I think that goes a long way. People I know know if I'm streaming with them, I like their shit. Not just that I want the boost. I've met so many bad ones and I just don't talk about them or associate with them. Yep. I like genuinely like not to say that like not to say that I put Justin through auditions. It's a weird way to like phrase it, but like it's kind of accurate. I'm sure he was doing the same thing to me, but like Brizzy vouched for me and Brizzy vouched for Justin and brought us into Fortnite together. And in that moment, I had about an hour and a half to prove to Justin that I wasn't a toxic shithead. And Justin had about an hour and a half where I went, I don't know this guy. Well, I guess I'll find out in the next 60 minutes whether or not this is a thing that might ever happen again. And it looks as though we got to the other side of it and both went, yeah, fucking A, where's this guy been all my life? But there's definitely that first 60 minutes where it's like, well, Brizzy vouches for him, and I would take a bullet for Brizzy, so... Yeah, Brizzy wants to monetize, but it's not a button you can... I admire Brizzy's principles. I genuinely do. I feel bad because, like, Fractured Lands obviously was kind of a shit show. It had promise, and that was what I latched onto. That was what, like, helped me sleep. Was that, A, they paid me a lot of money. Matter of fact, they not only paid me a lot of money, they paid me a lot of money to play that game, and then I activated a bounty that they had going, so I kind of double dipped. I took bounty money, which was, at the time, pretty significant. A pretty significant amount of bounty money. And then, dude, Matriarch, you are pissing me off to no end. Like, I can't get to it. I'm about to lose. Yeah, I was gonna say, I can't, my fucking tears don't reach. They gave me a pretty significant amount of money. The game had promised if they kept building on it. That was what I glommed onto, was that a BR where cars mattered seemed very interesting to me. How am I not? I feel like I've gotten the same angelic familiars like 3 times. I didn't say anything about it because I wanted the check to clear. But I felt the same way that Brizzy did. Fractured Lands in its current state was not a game that I could have recommended to somebody for 20 bucks. But I didn't say that. I said it's free to play at that point in time and you could decide for yourself, and then I winked at you guys. I wish I had the freedom to just be like, nah. I turned down a lot of stuff. You guys wouldn't believe me if I said this, but I turned down a lot of sponsorships. Yeah, God, I felt bad for Bree on Culling 2 release day, because I knew Brian was still working at that shithole. Her husband was still working at that shithole, you know? What's she gonna do? You know, join people in thrashing Brian's employer? She can't do that. I'm actually gonna do this. Yeah, Culling 2 was rough. Yeah, cool. The matriarch, I was looking at chat and got hit by a fly. The matriarch with bad shot speed is a legitimate nightmare. You took bounty money on top of sponsored time for Fractured Lands? You goddamn right I did. I got paid like an extra, I can't tell you how much. Not because of Fractured Lands. I don't even think they're a thing anymore. But definitely I can't tell you because of the bounty program. But I got paid like a significant amount of money to play that day with Eddie Monster, Dead Pine, and Fei Lin, which was fucking awesome. But then took another like 20%. Took an additional 20% because I snatched the bounty up for the exact same time. I'm glad I'm not the only one who did the bounty sponsored time double dip. In fairness to me, I asked Noah. I went to Noah and was just like, is it cool if I do this? And he was like, yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, you gotta find good things that you can latch onto and then laser focus. I don't want to say any of the ones I've turned down, but I have definitely turned down sponsorships and paid time before. I can think of one right off the top of my head where I was like, nope. And it was food, chat. I turned down a food sponsorship, if you can believe it. I was like, no, sir, that is not going in my body, and it is certainly not coming out of my mouth that you should eat it. Yeah, her Bishar is Bishar from the Culling, who now works at Epic. Yeah, Brian's one of the nicest people I've ever met. The Culling 2 broke my heart because Bishar is so nice. And of course, as the community manager for that absolute dumpster fire, he got dragged on social media as though he's the one who made the game. That was rough. HelloFresh is pushing hard on streamers since everyone hates them for their union busting. Hold strong if they ever come to you. Yeah. Listen, in that regards, Justin, where I've not put any, of my own personal brand on the line already, I'd be in a weird spot if I was under contract, right? Like, I'd feel like I was in a weird spot if I'd already taken their money. Where I'd have to choose whether or not I wanted to do principals or do several mortgages. But since I haven't already taken their money and they haven't approached me about giving me money, I can very easily just be like, oh yeah, no, fuck all that. I'm not taking that money. Who'd we get? I have a second one of those guys now. Yeah. Yeah, apparently HelloFresh worked pretty hard to do some union busting. I'm already on the fence about those big fuck offs. Like Amber and I were talking about this the other day. I guess if I put this out here, I burn bridges for any of these things. But I guess if I feel this way about it, I should probably say it. We were watching like a documentary, not a documentary, like a news piece about these like subscription services and delivery services that get food across the country and try to keep it and maintain it and keep it fresh. And the thing we saw was like, if you want cheesesteaks from Philadelphia, we'll get you a cheesesteak from Philadelphia and we'll wrap it up and we'll put it inside paper and then inside a Tyvek bag, and then we'll seal it and we'll surround it with dry ice, and then we'll surround it with cardboard, or no, we'll surround it with styrofoam, and then we'll surround that with packing peanuts, and then we'll surround that with cardboard, and we'll send you, on a private flight all of its own or whatever, we'll send you one Pat's cheesesteak from Philadelphia to Los Angeles in less than 12 hours. And I'm like, like it hurts me to hear all that. Like, I love the restaurant industry and I love you know, regional cuisine and opening up your palate, but I saw how much waste was involved with that, and I flinched. And I feel that way about, like, I call them bougie MREs. You know, like, I understand. Here, hurt me. There we go. I understand the concept behind them, and I understand why they exist, and I understand why people actually enjoy them. My mom sent me some HelloFresh stuff years ago as a Christmas present. They were fun. It was fun. And if you don't have time to grocery shop or hunt down recipes, it makes sense to me. But man, oh man, every time we made dinner, there was so much waste. There's the reason that, like, we stopped putting groceries in the gift list. Champion bought me all that rice pudding, and Amber and I were mortified by how much dry ice and styrofoam was involved in getting that rice pudding to the house. And we came in the next day, and we said that's very funny, but we can never do this again. It was too much waste. Yeah, terrible for the environment. That service exists, but I'm called the asshole for thinking whoever came up with it should be thrown off a cliff. My insulin comes with a huge styrofoam with dry ice and stuff, and I feel so horrible. There's a huge difference between, like, in my opinion, Lime, for what my opinion is worth, there's a difference between life-saving medicine or an organ transplant versus, man, you know what I could go for right now? A hot chocolate from Serendipity in New York. And I will spare no expense and will stop at nothing, including shitting on the environment, to get my hot chocolate from Serendipity in New York in the next 12 hours. Well, I guess this is our last one, so we might as well pop in. Billy. I definitely think I leave here with the nail. Before I do that, though, I'm probably gonna drain all my red hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I left another one of these demon beggars behind a ways back. I don't happen to have, like, a full health pill, do I? Boy, I'd have been pissed if that had been telepills. My dude, what more do you want from me? That's pretty great, thank you. I'll go ahead and take Brother Bobby since he's here. That's conjoined. That's a good one. And then we'll do this. I think this is actually question marks as a health upgrade. Fun. Yeah, there's a demon beggar back there. Ooh, Billy, I have thoughts. If I die, like, listen, if I get killed doing this, I'll die doing what I love, taking unnecessary risks. Isn't it the secret to a good cheesesteak cheese whiz? Yep, I think so. People will argue with me, but I am a firm believer that the secret to a good cheesesteak is whiz wit. Cheese whiz with onions. I did provolone for years because I just didn't think I'd like cheese whiz on a cheesesteak. But the banana balls thing to me is just how stinking good it is. It's like sweet and savory. It's part of the reason that I made that bechamel sauce on Sliced was because I kind of wanted to duplicate cheese whiz. All right, hold on 1 second, chat. I put myself in a precarious position. Let me dig myself out of here real quick. Local farm delivery service asked if you want to leave the packaging from the previous out on... That's awesome. Local farm delivery service asks if you want to leave the packaging from the previous week out on your delivery day so they can collect it to reuse it and recycle it. Now, I'd love more of that. I'm not saying that I don't get behind having anything shipped to me ever, but it would be cool, you know? It would be cool to ship food without feeling like I'm destroying the universe doing it. That's guppy. I have another idea. I was nearly zero waste before getting sick and almost entirely vegetarian. Now there's so much trash and I'm eating way more meat because it's zero carb. Yeah, I can see how that would be I can see how that would be a swift punch to the morale. That's a bummer. I'm sorry that that's gone that way. I saw that huge styrofoam cooler on my porch and I just cussed so much. American is the true cheesesteak. Cheese Whiz is tourist cheese. If you go to a cheesesteak place that isn't a tourist place, just simply order a cheesesteak without specifying the cheese. You'll be served American. I'm also down with that. I'm also down with that. Ooh, hold on. Thoughts? Aha! I'm invincible! As it's gonna be it's gonna be a weird word to associate it with it, but as long as it's one of the sweet, American Velveeta-y style cheeses, then I'm down. I kind of want this still. I don't know why. I'm just greedy now. This, as I say, this is it. If he doesn't do it here, then I'm not going any further. Oh, can't go that way. You know what? I can't go that way because I have bombs and I'm lazy. This is a super opportune time for the sun card for sure. Pat, what's going on, dude? Yeah, melty yellow sweet cheese. Melty yellow processed sweet cheese. It just works. It just works. That's why you shouldn't eat very many cheesesteaks, but if you're gonna get a cheesesteak, processed, fake as hell, sweet, yellow cheese. The restaurant I work at composts all food waste with a local farm and gets fresh produce in return. That's amazing. I love that. You can get Cheese Whiz just about anywhere that makes cheesesteaks, but it's usually for the cheese fries while American is used for the steaks. Now I'm hungry for a cheesesteak. I don't know that I've found a place in Richmond that does a cheesesteak that I would consider worth my money. I found some that are fine. I don't regret eating them, but they're not like life-alteringly good. Bye-bye. Damn, if I could get some upgrades, some luck upgrades, man, I could be throwing little horn shots left, right, and sideways. I also wish I wish I had spectral tears if I'm nitpicking. I hear you. I can't look away right now. Hold on. That's money. Ooh. Camping Conception sure did give us a lot of familiars, but I don't know that it gave us any that I'm super excited to call my own. Wunderbar. Oh, that's a wall. Well, that's, you know. Well, okay, like, I adore shitting on Noah. It's one of my favorite pastimes. But even I wouldn't have anticipated that the Minecraft house needed to be, like, selected and locked in, like, within a week of the last one ending. As much as I like shitting on Noah, that is awfully fast. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Gooch should slow down either. But I am saying that, like, even I'm surprised at how fast they're locking that back in again. Even I am surprised at how fast they're locking that back in again. I'm okay with just not doing this room. They're offering it up pretty much for free, plus a second house for free. I don't think he's gonna beat that in like a week. The part that bums me out is I'm just not sure that I'm gonna go back to Kentucky. I want to believe that I had such a good time that I just would. But damn, dude, that drive sucked. And like, that shower and bathroom sucks. And what the stinky part about that is that, like, we actually had it well, I say we, like, that shower was almost untenable for Justin, nearly untenable for Noah, and super uncomfortable for me. But we had a shower and an ensuite bathroom. There were other dudes who were there that were basically living like barrack style, with like a shared bathroom, and just a whole bunch of twin beds in a big room. I don't know, man. Like, if I would pay for my own hotel room if there was a hotel within 1,000 miles of that place. The second house is for lodging. I guess we'll see. The guy who owned the house seemed thrilled to have everyone there. Reg, what's going on, dude? I don't know that we ever got to see the owner, the property manager who was there. I could never tell if he was happy to have us there or if he was disturbed about how many, like, weird liberal Antifa members were in this place. If I'm not mistaken, the first day he came through the house, he was open carry. He was open carry with, like, a 9mm sidearm. And I don't think it was because of us. I think it was, like, mostly just because it's Kentucky. They were, I also, like, listen, not to just stoke the fuels of division in the United States, but, like, they were also very nice. You know, like, they were never anything besides courteous to us, so I don't want to make it seem like they weren't, but it also meant that I didn't know how to read the room whenever I saw, I think his name was JR, or JP or something. I never knew how to read the room with him. These are terrible items. Oh, Beelzebub, nice. Morning, Taffy. Only 2 days before I can order my gaming PC and desk. I'm vibrating. I'm so excited. Aster, that's so cool. I don't get to do that very often anymore, but every once in a blue moon, something like a technology upgrade, or honestly, nowadays, now that I'm a little bit older, like a piece of furniture for the house, I'm sure I'm gonna get that way for the pinball machine when the time comes. I'll be giddy with anticipation. But every once in a while, it's just super nice to get something that makes you feel like a kid at Christmas again. That doesn't happen as frequently when you're 40. I was gonna pop the Ace of Spades in there, but all the flies belong to us. Is this the right way? I wonder. I think that's about as good a return on investment as you're gonna get in the chest for an Ace of Spades card. Boy, so many fly items. Having the house seemed a lot better in the past, where everyone had to navigate back and forth to hotels and Airbnbs and be out of pocket for a lot of shit, a lot of stress and coordinating rides and cars. No, I totally get that. From an administrative standpoint, I understand why the Kentucky house is preferable. 100%, I get it. That didn't make it fun. Yeah, like, it did make the living situation fun. For being a 27,000 square foot mansion, it sure felt like you could never get away from people. Like, I know Justin expressed that a couple of times too, where, and I think Noah even said it once or twice. And you know how Noah likes to be around people and talking. But it was, you know, if you were like, you had to find nooks. You had to find nooks where you could hide. Justin had an alternate route into his room. So, like, if Justin decided he wanted to go to his room and be away from people for a little bit, he actually had a hallway that led to his room. If I wanted to get away from people and go hide for a little bit, I had to walk on occasion, I had to walk through segments. I had to walk through live segments because my room, the only way to my room was to go upstage right. And I'd sometimes have to walk through the background of segments and be like, hi everybody, I'm feeling kind of depressed, and I'm gonna go put my head down for an hour. Give money to kids. The drive out there was a nightmare. It really, I don't get real bad motion sickness in cars. I do when like, Justin and I are like that neither one of us read in cars. I can't read in cars or planes. It makes me instantly want to vomit. But I usually don't get too much motion sickness in cars, even on like curvy roads. That drive through West Virginia and then the drive back through Kentucky was a fucking roller coaster. It was nauseating. On top of it being a nauseating series of twists and turns, you had a whole bunch of local fucking yahoos who basically drove on Justin's ass for miles and miles because this is their backyard and they've got a Dodge Challenger. And they didn't buy a Dodge, they bought a Dodge Challenger for two things. One, driving through protests, and two, you know, so that they could hug these tight turns like their own private Autobahn. Doing 150 miles an hour in the, you know, Kentucky mountain back roads. The drive out was rough but acceptable. The drive back, yeah, the drive back was genuinely.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the
Justin trying to talk himself out of just handing the steering wheel over to me or Noah. It was brutal. It was brutal. It's the first time in a long time. Maybe it's the first time since when I was in touring children's theater.
Someday, Bumbo, lucky Bumbo, someday the Bumbo is a bad Bumbo. He got corn.